Hello, and welcome back to the spoilerCast, the show where we talk about movies and we don't care about spoiling them. My name is Tobias, and with me as always is my sister and trusted co-host, Rebecca.
Hello.
Hello! And today, we're going to talk about a new movie.
Yes.
It's a body horror movie from fairly newish director Coralie Fargeat, I think you say.
She's French?
She's French.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. You didn't know that?
Nah.
No. Of course not.
Excuse you?
Written and directed by Coralie Fargeat. It's The Substance. Ooh, yes. Some more body horror. A forgotten genre.
A while since we watched body horror.
Yeah, or at least new body horror.
And, yeah.
There was one like a couple of years ago, another French one called Titan. I don't know if you watched that one.
No, I never watched that one.
But the lady that fell in love with a car.
I know which one it is, but I didn't watch it. I was thinking about the one we did watch, and we made a video on the one where she had her brother in the back of her head.
Oh yeah, that's true. Malignant. That's
right. That's the one.
That movie's all over the place. That's a movie that's poised to become a classic in a few years, I think, because people keep talking about it. I saw it recently. But there was, of course, another one. Probably my favorite body horror of the last few years. Possessor was really good, from Brandon Cronenberg. David Cronenberg's
that one is.
son. Oh, okay.
I haven't watched that much body horror. I was introduced with Malignant, I think. Probably saw something before that, but not like realizing it was body horror.
Yeah.
I I have seen The Fly.
Yeah,
that counts, doesn't it?
That's prime body horror.
Yeah.
You know, when the human body starts to break down, the human condition starts to break down.
Ages ago.
Yeah. That's really, if anyone isn't sure what the genre is, that's what it is. It's horror based around how disgusting the body can be.
Yeah.
And
usually,
and put
exaggerated
into, put into even worse situations with machines or poisons or possessions and stuff like that.
What am I looking for? Oh, whatever.
The story in The Substance is an aging actress, an old starlet,
a fading celebrity.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't want to read that, but yeah. She partakes in a program called The Substance, where she injects the substance and becomes young again with a slight twist. I don't want to say more than that because they don't explain more than that in the trailer. So I want to keep that.
We're gonna be really careful not to spoil things for the first 15 to 20 minutes,
like we usually do. So yeah, let's get into it, and I'll ask you, like we usually do, what did you think of The Substance?
Initially I thought it was all right.
Mm-hmm.
There was a big chunk of it that I just didn't enjoy a lot. It was kind of dull. But the more I think about it, I think the last bit kind of weighs up for it.
Sure. Yeah, I saw you doing a lot of, huh? What? Huh?
Yeah, and I was like, what the heck is going on?
What? Yeah, I was like, oh no, she doesn't like it.
There are still things that I'm very confused about. We're going to discuss more in the spoiler part of it.
Okay.
Because it just doesn't really make sense to me.
Okay.
How that would work, but maybe it's just me not understanding. I don't know. But it's I don't know. The gore weighs up for a lot of it.
Yeah.
It's still weird, but I laughed, I cringed, I was about to throw up.
Yeah.
I was a little bit bored at points, but I was also very interested at points. What else can you expect from a body horror movie?
Yeah.
Really?
What did you think of the more overarching story? Not so much the plot. The plot is pretty simple, but what do you think of the story, the themes?
That's the part I thought was a little bit vague at points.
Vague.
Like
this was the most obvious movie of the year.
Yeah,
for me
sure.
At least.
The big one, but then like details of that was kind of vague and stupid, which made me question the overarching like plot. And It's hard to explain without spoiling things, honestly.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
I'm still kind of lukewarm to it, leaning towards, it's better than I thought. But I'm probably not going to rewatch this a lot. I might have to rewatch it to understand it better after we've discussed it, but yeah.
Yeah. I'll agree to that. It's not a movie I'm going to sit down and watch once every year or something. It's a long movie. Not that it was a problem, but it was a long movie. It's not just a 90-minute romp you just casually watch. No, you're
become used to again a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. It's an effort to watch it, I would say.
Yeah. It's 2 hours and 20 with credits.
Yes. So yeah, I'm not going to watch it again probably, but I mean I really enjoyed it. I thought it was one of the best movies of the year.
Oh.
It's in my top 10.
Oh. I haven't rated it yet, but it's not going to be in my top 10.
Okay. I mean, I thought
it felt a little pretentious.
Well, yeah, it's French.
Well, I didn't know it was French, so...
Oh, okay.
To me, it was an American movie.
Okay. Well, yeah, it is pretentious. But it's also, but in a good way. It's not. It's the real use of the word pretentious.
Sure, that's true.
We have defined that before, but because you usually use pretentious as something bad.
When it's trying to be better than it is, or
but when you use the word in the right,
the correct way.
In the correct way, it's something good. I mean, it's mainly used as something bad. What is it exactly?
Yeah, I don't know.
No, that's true. Because
is there really a good way to use it?
Trying to appear or sound more important or clever than you are, especially in matters of art and literature. But okay. No, but okay. So it's not wholly bad. It's trying to give the appearance of great importance, especially in a way that is obvious. And I think, that's what it is. This is very obvious with its themes, with its message, with its commentary.
Sure.
But I don't see it as bad because of it. I think it's intentionally obvious.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true.
It's in your face.
Yeah.
Literally and figuratively.
Yes.
All the time.
Very much in your face.
Very much in your face. Yeah. And I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that. Yes, it was a little over the top, but there was some parts I cringed at. It was like, really, we're doing this is stuff we were, critiquing in the 90s or 80s or 70s even.
Yeah.
But then, I recognize, I'm a man, so
certain things are gonna be
very, very different for me than for this. This is both a, super not feminist movie, but very female centric, or as whatever that stupid Star Wars lady said, woman centered movie. It's not let's
not bring up Star Wars.
No, that's a long reference, or obscure reference. But it is also, funnily enough, I don't think it passes the Bechdel test.
No,
I don't think there is ever two women talking to each other about anything in the movie. They do talk at one point, two women, but it's mainly I want to be pretty, stop ruining everything.
Yeah, they're not really talking about anyone else except for themselves.
Yeah.
So,
funnily enough, there's not a lot of substance in the dialogue.
No, that's
true. The dialogue is very vapid, all of it.
There's a lot of things that's kind of vapid about it. That's the thing.
Okay.
Well, I think maybe it's the way they're portraying certain things that makes me feel like it's vapid, but they're doing it on purpose. It's just,
it's exaggerating reality. It's hyper reality. We talked about that before. I don't think the actions, or like I said, the themes, the point of the movie is substanceless. I think it has a lot of substance.
Sure. I think I'm just having a hard time wrapping my mind around how they're I can understand what they're trying to say, but I feel like they're completely failing because they're ruining it themselves.
Okay, but we'll have to save that for the spoilers then, because then that's very specific. Other than that, though, like the cinematography is amazing.
Sure, yes.
All the set designs, everything feels so specifically like made for this. There's no like, we'll shoot this on location. No, everything is made for this movie.
Yes,
and I love that it looked very like it looked so expensive, so to speak, but in a good way.
It felt like it kind of reminded me of like older, not old, but older Hollywood.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
As in like 80s.
Yeah, 80s, 70s,
maybe.
I would say. Yeah. 80s, obviously, with the that there's a lot of like
neon colors and
colors and then
spandex
aerobics TV morning show. It's just like that's not really a thing anymore. But okay.
No,
that was the
especially
one
not
thing.
With those colors.
I wonder if that is intentional, or if the writer Coralie Fargeat is just out of date. Like nobody watches aerobics on TV anymore. They stream yoga influencers on YouTube.
Yeah, they watch it on YouTube, and it's not really that kind. And you would definitely have a different vibe to it.
Yeah, but what it represents, is all the more poignant.
Yes,
I think is the word, or current.
Yes.
But yeah, so yeah, like we said, visuals are amazing.
A little bit nauseating at points with how the camera work was when there was like.
Once again, though, that's the point.
Yeah,
of course. Body horror. You're supposed to feel sick when you're watching it.
But I meant like there's multiple sequences where just seeing palm trees.
Yeah.
And it's like strobing and shit, and I was like, what the hell is going on?
Oh, well,
I'd get it was just like cut in between certain things to obviously accentuate. Yes, the emotions and the feelings of the people or the characters. It's just annoying because I got nauseous, and I didn't like that. I didn't like feeling nauseous.
And then you have the pulse pounding music.
Yeah,
with a very it was very frantically edited for the most part. There's not a lot of like slow moments. Even the slow moments are pretty like hectic.
Yeah,
and then there's
always this tension somewhere. Even if it's just someone staring at themselves in the mirror, it's so high strung and like I can feel my heartbeat racing.
Yeah. And then of course the gratuitous shots of first of all, like gratuitous shots of perfect, quote unquote, perfect bodies.
Yeah.
But then the same kind of gratuitous shots of, grotesquery later on to kind of reflect,
imperfect
things. Yeah. Well, very imperfect. when we introduce Eliza Sue, well, we get to that. There's really nothing I don't like about this movie. There was not, sure, I didn't give it like 10 out of 10 because, it's not that for me, partly because maybe I'm not 100% the target audience, but also like it's not my favorite kind of subject to bring up, stuff like that. But for what it was, there was nothing they could have done better, I think.
No.
It was a masterpiece of filmmaking, I would say.
Sure, yeah, but there's also this whole, like, just personal opinion kind of thing, which...
Of course.
Obviously, for me, it lowers the ranking a little bit, or the rating a little bit.
Sure. And I think we have to get into spoilers to discuss that. We're a little early, but I think the spoiler section might be a bit longer. Or do you have anything else to say before we spoil stuff?
I was just like, can I drag this out for another minute?
Sure.
Somehow. But I couldn't think of anything. That's the problem.
Why do you want to drag it out?
No, you know what? Performances. We can talk about performances.
Oh, yeah. We have
two
central performances. Demi Moore and Margaret Qualley.
Yes.
Who are both phenomenal. I know a lot of people said that...
I almost didn't recognize Demi Moore, though. I don't know why. I think it's because I haven't seen her in a film.
Yeah, she hasn't done a lot of movies lately, or at least not stuff we have watched.
No.
She's, I guess, like, semi-retired, maybe? I'm not sure, actually. I mean, the last thing I can remember watching her in is, like, the second Charlie's Angels.
Wait, she was in The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent?
She was?
Movie actress Olivia. That's got to be a small part.
That must be a very small part. Yeah. And then she's done, in the last 5 years, she's done a lot of like TV and Songbird, which I never watched.
Yeah, no.
A lot of TV stuff. I haven't watched.
I guess that's why I just
I don't watch.
Yeah, she was.
I don't watch TV.
LOL, that's the last one I watched.
Oh yeah, and I saw her in Keeping Up with the Joneses from 2009, where she plays the mom. Oh, and she was the police in Mr. Brooks, but now we're talking 2007. That's almost 20 years ago.
Exactly, like.
Yeah, but
we just haven't had her on our radar for some reason.
But now she's back with a, I would say, like, career-defining performance. Very, very honest, very open, very naked in every sense of the word. It's the kind of role, you know, where it's the kind of movie and the kind of role where I hesitate to say it because I think it's overused, and I think it can be used in the wrong way. But Brave.
Yeah, in a sense.
Not Brave just because, spoilers, she's naked and like in very unflattering, but Brave in what it talks about and how it does it in such a very, very impactful way. Raw way. And yes, the visuals are as part of that. Course. Yes.
And no, but it also because she's one of the actresses from, like, I'm guessing when was she big? Like the
90s.
90s? Yeah.
Huge in the 90s.
Who has obviously done a lot of work on herself, which has,
yes,
a bit of an... That's part of the discussion.
No, that's definitely part of it. Yeah, you mean plastic surgery and stuff. Yes, yeah. Yes.
And I feel that's also kind of brave then, because she's embracing the fact that she has. Yeah. She's not hiding it like a lot of people still do it these days, which is so weird.
Yeah.
And this is like bringing up the discussion about it, I guess.
Yeah, it's and also the fact that a lot of her work in the 90s was defined by her beauty. Like,
yes, exactly.
Good actress. Not saying anything about that, but I mean, a lot of roles she got because she was a hot lady, you know.
Yeah, she was pretty to look at.
Which she definitely tried to work against. She shaved her head in G.I. Jane and went for the badass action role and stuff like that. Or actually, even though the role is kind of small, she is really good in, as a dramatic actress in A Few Good Men. If you've seen that one, you can't handle the truth. You haven't seen that one?
I know which one it is, but I haven't seen it.
Oh, it's so fucking good, that movie.
There's like a list of like hundreds of movies I haven't seen.
Sure. But anyway, but yeah, so this is very, it's
it felt on theme for her to
exactly,
be the actress.
Yeah, and it's good casting to use her in this kind of role. It's kind of like when they cast Michael Keaton in Birdman.
Yes.
Kind of, excuse me, but washed up, known mainly as he was Batman back in the 80s.
Exactly. Yeah.
And now he's trying to make a more cinema comeback, but then he's trying to direct a dramatic big Broadway stage show, but it's falling apart. It's the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, great performance by her. I'd say she is the best in the movie. A lot of people were saying that Margaret Qualley kind of didn't take over, but every scene she was in, she commanded.
It's kind of funny that you would say that she took over.
Hey, spoilers.
We have to mention Dennis Quaid as well, to be honest, though. But
yeah, he
disgusting, but in a good way.
plays the sleazy TV producer.
Yeah,
he does it very well, very over the top, but he does it perfectly.
He's exactly what he's supposed to be.
Oh yeah.
Hate it.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely hate it.
Did you know?
Which is the point.
Yeah, you're supposed to dislike him violently. Yeah. Did you know that they originally cast Ray Liotta in that role?
Wait, Ray Liotta?
Ray Liotta, the guy in Goodfellas.
Right. Yeah.
The two-time bent cop in Copland.
No, I did not know that. That might have...
He died, unfortunately, before production began. But you can definitely now when you know that, you can so see him do that part.
Oh yeah,
with the beady eyes
definitely.
and the screaming and remember.
I feel like he's done that kind of character before already.
He did it quite recently in when he played the more expensive lawyer in A Marriage Story. When he's like, oh, this is what we're going to do. We're going to go after her because, she's the lady, so she's going to go for, all the money and everything. But we're going to claim that she didn't make any fucking money. And he's just sleazy, but very effective lawyer. Imagine that, like, it turned up to 12. That's what this role would have been and what it is.
Though I feel like he might have been more, like,
sinister.
Scary
Yeah, I know.
And I liked that Dennis Quaid was almost a caricature of that.
Sure, he didn't seem scary the way he talked, but what he represented was scary. Yes, well, yes, Ray Liotta would be very just physically scary. I know what you mean. Yeah, especially those
we kind of needed
eyes.
that almost calm comedic like twist to it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would have been too dark.
He was not Randy Quaid. Dennis Quaid was great in the role, but I would have loved to see the Ray Liotta version of it. But anyway,
I want to compare them.
Yeah. Anyway, Margaret Qualley, great work. One of my favorite actresses. For various reasons. she's one of those celebrity crushes,
Yeah, you definitely have a type, and she fits that type.
Oh, yeah. But she's also, like, as a bonus, a great bonus, she's also a very, very talented actress who's done some amazing stuff. She was in that it's not called The Maid, it's called something, the show on Netflix a few years ago. So fucking good with her. And of course, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and, she's one of the good parts of Poor Things.
It is called Maid, though.
It is called Maid, okay, because I'm pretty sure there's another show called The Maid on, like, HBO or something. So
that's probably true, but there is Maid.
Okay, yeah.
After fleeing an abusive relationship, a young mother finds a job cleaning houses.
Yes, exactly. Amazing.
I haven't seen enough things with her, I think.
No, yeah. But also, there's a lot of gratuitous shots of her in various stages of undress, which I can't complain about that. I just want to mention that. Jesus Christ. But also there, maybe not as because of beauty standards, even though the movie works, to break down beauty standards. Maybe not as daring of a role for her to take on. But still, she has those scenes as well. I mean, it is I'm not downplaying it at all. I'm sorry, but I know that speaking, in interviews and stuff, Demi Moore was very not on board with doing as much nude scenes as she does until she found out that Margaret Qualley was doing it, and they found some sort of kinship in that, especially since there's a lot of them just literally like being butt-ass naked together in weird situations.
Yeah.
So it means stuff like that.
Because I kept thinking, like, certain scenes, I was just like, this has to have been hell to film.
Oh, yeah.
Must have been so uncomfortable.
Yeah. But I think that's
Thank
partly
God
the point.
for, like, intimacy directors and shit on sets these days. Because if this was done in, like, the 90s, oh my God, no.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they would have just walked away. Like, nah, I'm not going to finish this.
Well, just
if they had the same
the director says, do it for the art.
Yeah, well,
there was honestly there was more nudity in movies back then.
Yeah, but
and not
less of a point to it.
Yeah, well, we're talking different kind of movies here. Where,
that's true.
There's a difference between Julianne Moore walking around Donald Duck style in whatever it's called. Is it Shortcuts? I think.
I think so.
And what's her name? That gets taken advantage of in Last Tango in Paris. Like, there's a difference.
Yes. There's definitely a difference.
Either way.
We are past the 20-minute mark.
Yes.
So we should definitely get into spoilers.
Yeah, but just to wrap this up, then, for me, it's one of the best movies of the year. It had everything I wanted and then some. I can't recommend it enough. Maybe not if you're squeamish, since it is a body horror movie and they go hard into the body horror for the third act. So think of that.
I think you need to be aware of certain things beforehand.
Like what?
Because honestly, the close-ups, not the nudity per se, but the close-ups were kind of annoying to me, to the point where I'm like, I don't want to watch this.
Yeah, well, that's the point. Yeah, there's close-ups of people eating and just faces.
No. The close-ups of like the workout routines and shit. That part made me kind of go, I felt like this was a man directing and it was just disgusting.
Yeah, but that's the that's.
I know that's the point, but I feel like some people might not be able to watch. Well,
that's when media literacy comes into the discussion, where you need to understand context.
Yes, obviously,
and
like I understand why they had it in it.
In the context of this, there is a woman directing it, and she's doing it to make a point. What? Don't you do any research before watching a movie?
No,
just at least
God, no.
You don't have to like watch every trailer, but at least know who's writing and directing it.
No,
why not?
No, unless it's someone I know who it is.
Okay.
If I'm walking into a random movie, I'm gonna watch it for the movie.
Yeah, but you could at least you could just read, it's directed by Coralie Fargeat. I don't know who that is, but now I know at least who the person is. Alright, whatever.
I could have, but I didn't.
Whatever. Yeah, but that stuff like that means that you're watching the movie.
And I'm
in the wrong way. I know that's not you can't really watch a movie in the wrong way, but the scenes take on a different meaning.
Yes,
when you know it's directed by a woman, because yes, there is a difference.
What's the word in English? Förutfattade meningar.
You're making presumptions.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I just went, shit, dude did this. This is disgusting. Which is why it changed my opinion a little bit afterwards when I figured out, it's a woman.
Even if it was a man who directed those scenes, they serve a purpose beyond just showing Margaret Qualley twerking, which, on a surface level, I can't complain.
No, but I can.
Yeah.
On a surface level.
That's also what I want to get into, the specifically male and female perspective of the movie.
Yes, so let's talk spoilers.
Let's talk spoilers. From here on out, spoilers for the substance. You have been warned.
You have been warned.
Spoilers. So, when Monstro Eliza explodes in the end.
Yeah, I was gonna use the other one when they kill Eliza in the no, what's her name? Is Elizabeth? Eliza? Elizabeth. In the end, or in almost the end.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Wait.
Yeah.
How do they kill her?
She dies too. When she flies across the room into the glass table and she kicks her in the ribs until there's
she kicks her until she dies.
Blood splattered all over the room.
Right.
And Sue looks like she's Carrie from Carrie.
I forgot exactly what happened because it's just a barrage of violence. Yeah. Anyway,
very strange violence.
Yeah. Well, once again, it's body horror. It's supposed to be weird and strange and gross.
I don't know why, but I guess I just expected more medical-esque stuff and less of the poster bloodbath, I suppose.
The poster really made it feel more because it's all the white tiles. It looks like a morgue almost, and you see a woman with a huge what's it called?
It's not a scar yet.
No, it's what do you call it?
Wound? A sutured wound?
Sutured wound, yeah. Stitches. With giant stitches in her back. Like, oh my god, something terrible happened. It felt like, they were going to do like experiments and stuff. But that doesn't really happen. It's more like invasive in like like a gynecologist kind of way.
Yeah.
Where
how do you know that?
Well, I've heard people talk about it. I've never been to the gynecologist.
Exactly. I mean, it's probably the same for you guys.
Hey, no one's ever checked the prostate on me. Not yet. I'm not 40 yet.
Yes.
I don't have to yet, and I'll avoid it as long as I can.
It's good for your health, though.
I know.
They might find something.
That's what I'm scared of.
Yeah, well, if you don't know it, you can't treat it, so.
Well, they find it, I'll die anyway, so...
That's not true. You don't know.
Hey, whatever.
Whatever, that's not what we're talking about.
No, but it's
no, but it looks a lot... It looks very... The trailer as well made me think that it was lots of, like, more medical stuff.
Clinical.
Yes, clinical.
Which it is, though. I mean, everything is... It's very clean. It's very pristine, glamorous, everything. Sure,
yes.
Except for the dirty details.
Yeah.
Which is the juxtaposition.
Which I don't think I expected, for some reason.
Okay.
I don't know.
Was that a bad thing, then? Or just because you didn't expect it?
No, not a bad thing per se. It just surprised me.
Okay, positively or negatively? Because you sound negatively surprised.
Mixed.
Okay. But let's get into what it was you didn't like about it. Why you kept going, what? In the theater?
The first issue is that it felt like a plot hole to me, but maybe it's just me not understanding.
Sure.
So the main thing here is Elizabeth takes the substance.
Yes.
And it creates a younger, better version of herself.
Yes.
It's not her. It's clone, sort of, but it's not exactly her because people would recognize her. She has differences in appearance.
Yeah.
Like her moles have moved. They're not on the, I think she has it on her stomach.
It's in the same spot.
And Sue has them on her, like, arm or something.
Isn't it in the same spot?
No, I think it moved. Oh, whatever.
I think it is.
Certain details are obviously different.
Mirrored, though.
Yeah, maybe.
It's right next. It's not like on her pelvis.
Maybe it was. I thought it was on her arm.
No, it's not on her arm. But the other guy, he has the same birthmark on the arm, both as the old man and
that's true.
The Matrix and the Other, as they're called.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The issue I had was that since they're sharing a conscious, somehow, magic, obviously, movie magic. How could they be so mean to each other, even though they're the same person?
Well, that's the point. Maybe you haven't struggled with like substance abuse or anything.
No.
Me neither. But I mean, there's this like, you know, there's this. The shadow self, if you want to be Jungian, or the beast that takes over. Like, oh my god, I drank so much I blacked out last night. I don't remember what I did. Because, you know, she's kind of, Sue, which is the better version of Elizabeth.
Yeah.
She's like high on life.
Life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when she is, because that's the whole thing. You take the substance, this younger, prettier, better version of you literally crawls out of you, splits your back open. Yeah. And it climbs out of you.
Ugh.
You then stay as that better version, the Other, as they call it, which is built from the Matrix, which is you, the original you, so to speak, even though you are one and the same. That's the thing. There are not two of you. They specifically point that out.
Two physical bodies, but there's still one person.
Yeah. But this older version, then you can stay as the younger version for 7 days before you need to switch again.
Switch back.
Yeah, you need to switch back. So you get this food thing, like food paste, which you give to your then unconscious Matrix, the older self, and you have to do daily injections to stabilize, which is basically like spinal fluid.
Yeah,
I don't think it's specifically supposed to be that, but they do the whole, the fucking giant needle into the back.
It at least. Yeah.
And you suck out some sort of fluid, which you then inject.
And it needs to rejuvenate.
Yeah, that's why you can only do 7 days. 7 days for you, 7 days for the Other. Because, the stabilizer needs to rejuvenate.
Within the Matrix.
Also, if you go too far, the Matrix starts to wither. Like, whatever you take from the or whatever you give to the Other is taken from the Matrix.
Could it be the opposite as well? Could the Matrix have stayed awake longer and taken things from the younger person?
No.
Or the younger self?
Because it's like how can I explain it? You are still the original, so to speak. So whenever you go back to being conscious, that's you. You have to, eat food, you age, you wither eventually, while
the copy
doesn't, because it's just it's a fake. It's a copy. It's a what's it called? It's a facsimile.
Yeah.
All it needs to be is stabilized by the stabilization fluid or whatever. They just
stabilizing fluid.
Yeah, they just say it's stabilize. They say the fluid or whatever. Yeah. So no, that's not a real person. It's literally something, that, it's a thing.
Avatar, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what kind of bothered me, that Sue kept going, just a little bit more, as if it, but she knew the risks. And she knew that she would eventually have to go back into Elizabeth.
That's the same way.
And then live with the consequences. And I felt like that was kind of weird. Like, why would she then sacrifice Elizabeth?
Because imagine how her life was 1,000 times better when she was Sue.
Yeah,
Sue is the younger version of Elizabeth. She gets adoration from everyone. All the guys love her because she's so hot. She gets the TV show. She gets money. All that is happening, and then she has to go back to be her old self for 7 days. She literally has nothing. The movie starts with her
getting fired.
Basically getting fired because she's getting too old to do her aerobics show, which is also, once again, that's going to say where it feels like the commentary is a little dated, because there is like a whole industry of like, especially nowadays with all the the Dove commercials and everything, like how we love every kind of woman, tall, skinny, fat, short, old, young.
Embrace your beauty.
Yeah,
basically.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Like
the most beautiful woman in the world looks different to everyone.
Exactly. So having this aging beauty, so to speak. Still, having this show where she tries to stay, maybe focus more on staying healthy than staying beautiful, because our beauty standards are so skewed. But having this health conscious show for older women and showing that they're still alive. They're not, there's this sketch. I don't know where the sketch was aired, but I've seen it on YouTube where a bunch of older actresses, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, who else, whatever, a bunch of comedic actresses or just actresses are sitting on a table, and then a younger actress shows up. It's like, well, what is this place? She's like, because they're like in their late 40s, she's like in her late or mid 30s. And like, oh, welcome to the table. These are your last days as fuckable in Hollywood, basically. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, it's Meryl Streep said when you turn 40, you're only cast as like evil stepmom.
Yeah, the witch. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Which is a thing, but sure. It's a trend that's also been bucked a lot, even though in general, yes. But I feel like that is my one complaint about the movie, that the commentary when it comes to, we have super skewed beauty standards, especially for women, yes. But there has been such progress in the last 10 years.
It
20
also,
even.
The choice of media to present it is...
It's also very
presented
dated.
In the movie is very dated.
Yeah.
Like having this aerobics thing.
And I'm not
sure... It would have made more sense if it was... I don't know.
She was just an actress who's not getting work anymore. And she has
oh, you can't be cast as the love interest anymore. Now you're cast as the mother.
Yeah, I got you another role as, the witch in the new Disney movies. Like, God damn it, I don't want to play the witch. I want to be the princess. Well, doll, you're not 25 anymore. Get it together. Something like that.
It wouldn't have been as impactful though, and they couldn't have used. They needed this kind of setting to have those shots.
Once again, it's like we said, it's hyper realistic. It's hyper stylized. Yes. And what is more sexualizing without being just porn than sexy aerobics?
Yeah, that's true.
In skimpy thong bathing suits,
basically.
Yeah. There is like that. That's as far as you can go.
I'm amazed how that doesn't move when they're moving. How there isn't more slip-ups.
Well, isn't it because they're actually wearing like skin-colored leggings that are like attached to the bathing suit as well?
Mostly, yes.
Yeah,
and there's like
sort of like
body glue these days that you can use.
And like Was it
figure skaters?
Exactly, figure skaters.
Yeah.
They look like they're just wearing like
and stuff.
but they're actually wearing like thermal wear so they don't die on the ice.
Yeah, and it's like a one piece basically.
Yeah, exactly.
All over your body, and then just put a skirt over it. Yeah, no, it's that, but it still baffles me.
Sure, yeah, definitely.
There's a lot of tape and glue involved, I promise you.
yes. Where were we before that?
No, I just found that I understand it, but it felt a little bit weird that she went straight to the whole abusing it. It moved a little too fast for me.
Well,
she had like 1 week, and then she went, I'm gonna go a little bit longer.
I think it was a little longer. I think it was like a few weeks. And then it was just that one day was like, shit, I just need one extra day.
I need one extra night.
Yeah, and it'll be fine. And then
that's when the finger happened.
That's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, you know, heroin is you're injecting poison, but I'll just do a little bit because it feels good. It's fine. And then,
but once is never just once.
Shit, I need more. But yeah, my body's starting to fall apart. Ew, my injection wounds are all pus filled, but it'll feel better once I take the drug.
I don't know if I couldn't see it as that when I was watching the movie.
Okay.
I don't know why. Well, I guess I was distracted by the bodies or something.
It's part of that, but then also you can see it since they kind of play it off as they are two different people. You know, they aren't, but you can see it as this between a younger and whatever happened to Baby Jane, the older actress who becomes, envious and spiteful and then, hateful towards the younger, more successful actress. Why do you get to have everything I can't have? I made you, which is literally what happens in the movie. She manages to have conversations with herself because she watches interviews of herself when she is Sue, the younger version.
Yes.
And I think that was amazing. An amazing way to do it and still have that weird body horror thing where they're still the same person. She did that, which he's now like screaming and scoffing at, because she was so like
in
blinded,
character, I guess.
Blinded by the power she had as Sue, as the other. I thought it was genius the way they did it, and a lot of fun. That's something.
Hindsight, yes, but as I was watching it, I just went, this is so weird. This is so dumb. This doesn't make sense to me.
But because that's also something you have to remember with most body horror, that even if it's like you can say like, oh, it's super intelligent, it talks about this and this and that and this and that, you also have to remember that at least most body horror, like if you have like a director who's like known for body horror, their thing is body horror. They also just relish in the like crazy, disgusting part of it. So the fact that, when she's baking or she's cooking a bunch of food from that French book where everything was like innards and brain stew and shit, it's just there's
blood sausages.
Yeah, she's throwing it everywhere. There's food going everywhere. The hand mixer literally sounds like a chainsaw. Like you revel in the gratuity of it, which is part of body horror. So
that's true.
I thought they did that. That was maybe my favorite scene. No. Alyssa Sue is the best scenes. But I mean, other than that, it was so much fun to see her. And she's literally, because, once again, as a man, I was like, I understand also that it's because it's, I can understand when I'm looking at myself. But I'm looking at Demi Moore in the movie. I was just like, she's beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, she looks a little older, but she has aged with grace.
Oh, yes.
Of course, that's not how you see yourself, of course.
No.
Even if you are like her, like she's movie star beautiful. But, there's...
She was born in 1962.
Yeah, she's 64 years old.
She's her dad's age, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, he's born in 1963. No, he's 61. Yeah. She's 62, sorry, 62.
Yeah. She could be 40.
Like we're in late 40s. But of course, she remembers how she looked when she was young.
Yeah. Especially since she's in that industry.
Exactly. And she's being defined by her beauty, both in the movie and in reality. And no matter who you are, your view of yourself, unless you're like an insane narcissist, is always going to be skewed towards the negative.
Yeah, you always see yourself in a negative light.
Yeah. Sometimes, for better or worse.
Sure.
So I was like unconsciously baffled. Like, why would she like you can do whatever you want. You're Elizabeth Sparkles. But then she can't.
When I read that name, I just went, Robin Sparkle?
Yeah. I was thinking of Sparkle Motion, the dance group in Donnie Darko.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I kept waiting for Sue to have a last name, be like Sue Glitters or something.
Yeah.
That would have been too silly. She was just Sue.
Yeah. But and that's where in reality Elizabeth Sparkles, just like Demi Moore, would, say, well, I don't want to be defined by my beauty.
Yeah.
Not that I'm ugly, but I don't want to be defined by my beauty.
There's more to me.
Yeah, there's more to me. So therefore I'm going to make this prestige picture, like, well, in this case it's a body horror, but prestige kind of performance, and show them all that I'm not just a pretty fucking face.
Exactly, yeah, I can do so much more.
But to get the message across, she has to be shallow, and it's all about looking good.
Yes.
Yeah. So while I'm sure Demi Moore saw a lot of herself in Elizabeth, she was also smarter than Elizabeth and knew that there is there's a different way to go about it. And that's the right way to go about it. That's why a story like this, even though the without the whole body horror part, the whole where you like. You operate on yourself to the point of, well, there are people like that, the living Barbie and stuff like that. Sure. But that rarely happens in real life to this extent, so to speak.
I mean, there are the people who have plastic surgery done until they look
insane. Yeah, I know. Yeah,
insane.
I know.
Yeah. Like,
there are some of those.
What's his name?
There's this lady. She's not really.
Thinking of a British dude who first he wanted to look exactly like.
Oh God, yeah, I know you're talking.
Someone, and then he wanted to be one of the One Direction dudes, and then he wanted to be a K-pop star, and then he's another.
Isn't that the alien guy?
Ollie something.
I don't remember.
So strange. I'm surprised he's alive, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's where people. Cosmetic surgery. That's where, and there's probably not very progressive to say. Those are people that have mental problems. Like he's not well.
No, he's obviously not. He's not feeling good in the way he looks. Yeah. So he's trying to and so hard to look like someone else.
Yeah, and just cutting yourself even in a clinical way is not actually helping. You need to deal with
no matter if you
your
cut
emotional
things out
problems.
Or add things. It's yeah. There's other things you need to start with.
That's why I don't think that. Well, whatever. I mean, I'm not even gonna go there because then it's just gonna be, It's not.
You kind of started.
Yeah,
though.
I know, but you're not allowed to talk about that on the internet because that means you're a fascist or a bigot. That's why I don't think that gender transitioning is always the right thing to do.
Oh well. Yeah.
You don't
have to have surgery to be who you want to be. That's the thing.
But
you can still
be whatever you want to be. Well, not specifically the surgery then, but just that we as a society have become very accommodating to people saying, look, well, I think I'm this now. It's like,
yeah.
And we just, of course, because we don't want to offend.
Yeah.
When in reality, just agreeing with them isn't actually helping.
As harmful.
Yeah. Because
I understand.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm trying to say this in such a gentle way as possible. Because for some people, yes, it is just gender dysphoria. Yes, and there are lots of people who have had successful transitionings and live a much better life.
So happy with it and will always be. Yes.
But then there are obvious
There are people
examples.
who regret it.
Yeah. Well, regret it, or it happens, and they still have the problem, and so they go further,
and it just doesn't help,
and further. Like this guy. Now that's not gender, but he had he had what is called body dysmorphia,
Yeah, probably.
Similar thing, but and there was something else because he was
obviously that wasn't the solution because he kept changing who wants to be.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I think this speaks a little bit to that as well.
Yeah, sure.
That
I thought it would speak more to that part with like actually having beauty procedures done within the movie.
Yeah,
because we don't get to see Elizabeth do any beauty surgeries or anything. I thought they would have started with that to like build up to this extreme choice.
It starts with her like getting something done, like a facelift,
getting
or something.
filler or something.
Yeah.
When she gets fired, she's like, I'm not pretty enough. Maybe I should do my lips.
Yeah.
And then you get to see her like, I need to fix my cheekbone or my forehead, and then she starts doing too much and eventually goes, this is enough. I need to do more. And that's when she finds the substance.
Yeah. But I'm
maybe that would have been too on the nose.
Exactly. Well, I was going to say that. That is too on the nose, but the movie in and of itself is very on the nose. But that would have been on the nose in a dumb way. Well,
it would have been less artistic.
Yeah, this is on the nose in a fun, interesting way. I think that is the difference here. That we don't need the surgery stuff because the substance is an allegory for
placebo.
For the plastic surgery.
It just moves so fast. Instead of seeing the slow progression of adding more and more and more, you get instant gratification, really.
Yeah, and that's
you get exactly what you wanted, and except it turns out to be exactly what you didn't want.
Yeah. Well. They also don't say that the substance or the people who like. We don't really know who they are, but the people who distribute the substance, they aren't
the manufacturer. I suppose
they aren't like because you can think like because they are really the people who further this skewed beauty standard that only young beautiful people can be successful. They are the bad guy. They're not really the bad guy though, because if you manage the substance, it's fine. I mean, it's not really fine because that's also part of this whole complexity of the themes that you're only living half a life.
Yeah.
Because the first few weeks when she goes back to Elizabeth, all she does is just sit in front of the TV and wait for the next 7 days.
Yeah, because she doesn't know what to do with herself as Elizabeth anymore.
Yeah.
She doesn't have the job to go to that she does with Sue. She doesn't have like any fame really left.
Yeah. And it becomes this part where you only live vicariously sort of through yourself, which you can't really do, but that's the body horror thing.
Yeah.
Which is the theme of like she could live a full life. I mean, that's a very small part of the movie, but very early on in the movie, she meets an old high school classmate of hers.
Yeah, Fred, was it?
Fred, yeah, and he's just a regular guy. At first, I thought he was a doctor at the hospital where she goes to because she's in what really sets everything in motion is a car accident. Well, she's fine, which I thought was a fun detail. She wasn't horribly disfigured, and that's why she was
not even a
cracked tooth. But it kind of sets this in motion where she gets fired and everything. They had that's an excuse. So well, you got to take some time off, and maybe we'll move on from your show now. Stuff like that. I thought he was a doctor there at first, but I guess he was just there also like on a checkup or something.
Yeah, that's why he said, "Don't look at my cholesterol."
Yeah, exactly.
Because he'd gotten his paperwork out,
and he, I don't know. Here's something where I, as a man, thought of him as completely like harmless and like a good thing, completely a good thing, because he didn't. I mean, he thought she was beautiful.
Yes.
He says like you haven't changed a bit since high school.
You're still as beautiful.
You're still as beautiful.
School,
like, oh my god, I knew you're a big star and everything, but would you want to go have a drink or something? He seems to appreciate her for her.
Sure.
But is there now you're not a 50-year-old woman yet, so maybe you haven't had this experience. But would comments like that feel like condescending or
a little bit? Because it's
they
him.
are okay.
He's not saying, "Oh, He's not just saying you're beautiful. He's saying you're still as beautiful as you were when you were younger.
You're beautiful,
meaning
despite
that your
being
younger
old.
self. Yes,
Okay.
your younger self was very beautiful, and you're beautiful despite your age.
Yeah.
So it's a double-edged sword a little bit.
I think they did that well, though.
Because it is a bit of a compliment. Obviously, you're still beautiful.
Yeah.
But it's like he's constantly comparing her to what she looked like as a teenager.
Yeah. Sure.
Which is also a little bit like, if it would have been a random dude who's never met her bbefore, who never saw her as a younger person going, wow, you're beautiful, then that is pure, you're liking what I look like exactly as I am.
But once again, then, okay, because then I can't speak today.
It's kind of the same with the neighbor. He's kind of the same role.
But reversed.
Yeah.
He's annoyed by the old lady that lives across the aisle.
The hall.
But then he sees that, this young one's like, I'll help you. I got a big hammer.
Then nothing matters as long as you're pretty.
Yeah. But I think then that the character of Fred, which is really only in one scene, is once again very well written because for me, even though I kind of suspected the stuff we talked about, I thought that he kind of represented the fact that like there is worth left in her, so to speak, for as who she is.
Sure.
Even though but like you said, it could still be condescending, even though he doesn't mean it to be condescending.
Exactly. That's the thing. He doesn't mean it, but it comes off as it because of where she is in the moment specifically. Yeah.
So that scene and the scene where they're supposed to go out on a date, because she actually then decides to go on a date with him.
Yeah, and she's really nervous
she's
about
really
it.
Nervous about
she's
it,
like,
because
is he gonna cancel on me because he realized I'm older?
Yeah.
Or is he actually interested in me as the person?
Yeah.
As Lizzie, as he calls her.
Yeah. But then, of course, this is after her first week as Sue. So she keeps, she puts on the makeup, she puts on the dress. But
nothing feels right.
Yeah, because she keeps seeing that big poster of Sue outside her fucking window. It's like, I need to put some more makeup on. I need to change this.
Look more like her.
Yeah, and then
maybe I should hide. I shouldn't have as much cleavage. I'm 50 now. The boobs aren't right, even though she has fucking amazing boobs. Yeah. Like, girl, stop. Put on a push-up.
Once again, she becomes very self-conscious.
Yes.
Even though he would not complain for 1 second.
Oh no, he wouldn't. Even though he's even if he's still imagining like the teenage Lizzie that he saw in school, he still needs her physically to be able to think about that one.
Yeah.
So he's still thinking about you, just younger you, but you're still gonna be there. It's kind of weird.
I mean, also I have to say that like even if you would make a comment like that. You still see that they are 60 years old or 50 years old.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah,
you don't just see that 20-year-old person. You're not insane. Delusional.
It's just the way you.
It's just the way you
Jack
express
Black movie.
it. Yeah, it's not whatever that's called. Shallow Hal.
Yeah.
But then she just can't. She can't leave the apartment. She's too
It's more
aware.
of herself.
Yeah, she's too self-aware. And he keeps sending a message. And I was glad they didn't, because he comes like, it's like, are you coming?
Running late.
Yeah, running late. And it never went aggressive. There was one that felt slightly passive aggressive. Said, I know you big movie stars like to make an entrance. It's like, but then he wrote after that though, are you okay?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, okay,
he's actually worried.
He's not angry. He's worried.
Yeah,
and I'm glad they didn't.
Because he was also. That's when they meet up. He does play that little joke as well. It's like, I don't know if you remember little old me now that you're a big star, kind of thing.
Which she doesn't.
No, at all, really.
No, not at all. Which speaks to her not being like this perfect person as well. She's a shallow, gross person as well.
Obviously, otherwise she wouldn't have gone through with the substance.
And she's obsessed with her looks, and like she's shallow.
Because that's all she knows by now.
Yeah. There's layers.
That's part of living in Hollywood, I suppose. Living and working in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Even if you're just this morning aerobics lady.
Yeah.
Which is also kind of strange because it starts off. She has, as I understand, she has the morning show.
Yeah.
So it's basically like, I don't know, Martha Stewart morning cooking kind of thing.
Good morning.
But
let's
aerobics.
Start the day with some workout, ladies. Yeah, that kind of stuff.
But as soon as there's a younger girl doing it, they're like, no, you need to have like the evening slots.
Yeah, because it's not they're not doing aerobics anymore. It's just sex. It's just hot ladies and that one hot guy dancing.
Yeah,
it's not aerobics. The whole stripper size, it's bullshit. I mean, it's not bullshit, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean.
It's not that thing. It's not exercise that sense. You're not training. You're just moving your body. Yeah. It's like we had when we were kids, rörelse.
Yeah.
It's just to move your body to get like some energy.
Get the blood flowing.
Get the blood pumping a little bit.
Yeah. And to show off Margaret Qualley's ass and tits.
Yes.
That's it.
Assets.
Exactly. Ass tits.
That lump thing. Jesus.
Ew! Yeah.
Let's get into the actual body horror here.
All right, because if we talk about that, and like I said, so the movie, the themes, the story, I think is very complex, even though it feels super pretentious and on the nose. There are layers to it.
Yes.
There's several layers, even like the dermis, the epidermis, the layers of our skin, to do it in body horror terms. Yeah. But yeah, we'll talk about that. And maybe it didn't all land for you. For me, it landed like 99%.
Like I said, it landed more as I considered it afterwards.
Sure.
But in the theater, the first like third or half the movie kind of just went on being like, this is weird. But that's only because during those parts, all we see are them living their separate lives.
Sure,
basically.
yeah, and that's that.
Nothing really happens. There's the argument, kind of like a rebelling teenage daughter and a mom who doesn't take care of the house.
Yeah,
but they're never actually arguing with each other. They're just reacting to the aftermath.
It's almost like a little Freaky Friday.
A little bit, yes.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden we get the actual body horror. We get to see the consequences of all of this.
Yeah. That's when like you said, when your injection wound starts pussing and,
Yes. When we get a drumstick coming out of a belly button. A chicken drumstick, I mean, not a actual drumstick.
Yeah. A chicken thigh.
Which is so weird.
Yeah, because she's doing her dancing,
and
then she bends over and she said
something just popped.
Yeah, something just on her butt just pops out. And it's like, oh, but it goes back. And it's like, oh, it's gone. Said, did she imagine it? Because sometimes it felt like she was imagining things, like the part when she's undoing her super tight leather onesie or whatever it is.
Yeah,
and her guts fell out. Like, but then she woke
out
up
of her back.
I think that was just like a nightmare she was having or something.
Some of them were. I think that was like a side effect of the switch.
Yeah, exactly. But either way,
especially if you dragged it out.
Oh yeah. But yeah,
but that one, the drumstick, I don't know.
It's a weird one, but I think it's just to show that Elizabeth, the Matrix, is abusing her body, and it's affecting her other self, and that's when she's like, "You fucking bitch! Stop ruining it for me, for us, for you,
for the other, yeah.
We are one. I am you. I am one."
Yeah.
Very weird.
And it just looked disgusting when she reached her hand into her belly button.
Which also you can't do that. The belly button isn't a hole.
No, into your
body. That's not how it works.
I mean,
but as a body horror visual, oh great! She pulled out a perfect like just chicken leg out of her body. It's like,
that's where it started going gross, and then we got even more gross with like Elizabeth turning old wasn't gross really.
Well,
it was a bit jarring because it happened so fast.
Sorry, yeah, some of it.
But it wasn't gross. Oh, jeez. In the same way that pulling teeth is gross to me.
I know. No, that's not the gross part. That's just the sad part that she's ruining her body with this drug, basically. I mean that's what it is. Once again, it's an obsession. It's an addiction metaphor. Because whenever she's on the drug, when she's Sue, she's fine. She's on top of the world. But then reality hits. And she is this withered old lady, Elizabeth. Yeah, and she hates it.
Yeah.
And she starts feeling contempt for Sue. She hates the drug, but she has to keep taking it. It's classic addiction stuff.
Sure, yeah.
And when you're on the drug,
it was kind of cute watching Demi Moore running around like an old hag, though.
Yeah. Which is kind of funny. Like, the older she got, the more she's sort of dressing like an old lady, and you're like,
yeah.
Well, then it makes sense because she's hiding her varicose veins and her weird lumpy back and stuff. Like, that's why old ladies do that, I suppose.
Exactly. That's why they bundle up, because you're hiding your flaws.
Yeah, it's not just that you're like, well, I'm old now, so I have to dress a certain way. There's a reason for it. It's very functional.
You're feeling self-conscious about how you look because you don't look like you used to. So now you're just hiding it.
Yeah, which is...
you don't know what else to do.
Which is things you might have thought of unconsciously before, but I've never actually like... Oh,
you've never considered
that's it like why that. They wear, the cardigan and the head scarf for head wrap or whatever. Scarf. Yeah, but the big glasses. I knew it. Sunglasses. I just didn't think about it.
Exactly. So you never consider it because you're not in that position.
The movie was literally thought provoking.
Yes.
She used to say, the movie's so thought provoking. This is literally like, That's what I mean.
And then you have gratuitous action and gore.
Yeah. Which once again is reveling in the craziness of body horror. Like when they start fighting, when they literally both become conscious at once because they like do the switch, but
having also half of the termination in her.
Yeah, because she wants to end it, but then she realizes, no, I can't do that because I can't go back to my old self. I'll always look like a fucking a movie witch.
Yeah.
So at least
I can literally do nothing as I am now. If I don't keep Sue around, I'm stuck here forever.
At least I have half a life as Sue. So she's like, no, I can't do it. And she tries to revive her with the switch, and then they both wake up. And then they have this over the top fight with like wires and flying through the air and
superpowers, for Christ's sake.
It's so over the top, but that's what made it fun. Like if they were just fighting, it would have been more like, that's like, yikes, violent and weird.
Yeah, that would be uncomfortable violence.
Now it was just like, whoa, crazy. You're kind of laughing because you don't know what else to do, sort of thing.
It was Malignant, the police station scene.
Yeah, where your brain starts going, so you just start laughing because you don't know what to do. Yeah,
because the first time we see Elizabeth as the old hag, as you would call her, she's brittle and weak and she can't even stand up. For
her knee won't bend when she's trying to get up on the chair. But
she just eventually gets dressed and leaves the house, and then all of a sudden she's fast as I don't know what.
Yeah, it's adrenaline.
She's so nimble and fast all of a sudden.
It's adrenaline, it's the
probably, and then she can move,
picking up a car to save her child, that kind of thing.
She can move the painting that is so heavy.
That fucking painting everyone's moving around.
Or a poster, I guess, giant poster. I thought they would do more with the eye. Sorry, that was just a little detail, because the eye of the poster had a specific point. One eye was broken and it cracked out from it. I thought they would do something with her eyes then, but they never did that.
No, I think it's just like it's a striking visual that she broke the glass right at the eye, and then it gradually moved as she became broken. So did the picture. Ooh.
Yeah, I guess. I thought it would be like a foreshadowing or something.
No.
But no.
But yeah, then she literally turns into like the scenes towards the end when she's like completely. Not when she's Monstro Elizabeth, but before that.
No.
She literally looks like a goblin or something, and
Quasimodo and Smeagol had a child.
Yeah, exactly. Gollum. So I was like, oh my god, this is a new Gollum movie now.
Yeah.
And I think because we read that there were body doubles for the monster versions of the characters, but it really looked like it was Demi Moore that makeup.
Yes,
I think it was the last final form that wasn't her or Margaret Qualley.
That was someone else.
Yeah. And she was, I mean, you know, there's something to that playing a witch. She did it so good, like, and just hobbling around like, it was so good.
The way she scared the boyfriend.
And her dragging that poster through the hallway, just like, it was
she was the witch in like any Disney princess movie.
Yes, it was so. I mean, it was sad, of course, but just the visual was so funny.
And it was funny to have Demi Moore, who had just played this, you know, glamorous middle-aged woman, all of a sudden turn to this caricature of like the witch, you know, which she was trying to avoid by making Sue. Yeah, and then she became it anyways.
Yeah. So you know, there's one thing where you kind of mix different like vibes. You know, like it can be both scary and funny,
it's mainly scary and funny.
Yeah, where you say that there's the tones don't match, or there's a tonal shift that works in a movie. I don't think I've ever seen a movie that is, or that scene specifically, and later when she becomes a monster, which is both like really sad, but also hilarious. Like those two shouldn't work, but it did in that scene. I was laughing, but I was like, "This is so sad," but I'm laughing at it because it looks so funny.
Yeah, can't help it.
Yeah, I can't.
That's when the movie started going really good for me. That's where I started really liking it, when she became the old hag.
Yeah.
Because that's when you got interesting. We got some of the over-the-top action, which was very fun. We got more of the Sue realizing the effects of what she's done.
Yeah, because now, first of all, she is sucked Elizabeth dry of all the stabilizing fluid.
She's months beyond her.
Yeah,
like,
it's supposed to be 7 days.
She should have done.
It's been 3 months, and now she can't extract any more stabilizing fluid. That's why they.
She's even given Elizabeth her food, the other food, not just Matrix food, which might be different. I don't know.
I think it's the same. You know, it's just to keep the body alive. Well, it's just 7 for you, 7 for her, it's just to remember. Sure. It's like one of those things where you put your pills in. These are for Monday, these are for Tuesday, you know, just so you know.
Doesn't matter if you actually,
Yeah, just so you know.
But then,
so there won't be any mistakes made.
Days. Sure.
But yeah, then she kills, first Elizabeth tries to kill Sue, but she can't. But then Sue, in her blind rage, kills Elizabeth and realizes, fuck, now I literally can't get any more stabilizing fluid out of her.
Yeah.
So what I do now? Well, I'll be fine. And that's when the teeth start falling out. And
well, she starts having the ringing in the ears when she's and the bleeding because her body's giving up.
She's Jonesing.
Because without stabilizing, Sue can't really exist without Elizabeth.
No, because they are one.
She is.
They can't. Yes. She can't exist without her. Because Elizabeth is one.
Exist.
Yes, but Sue is a product of the Matrix.
Exactly, and if she does not get the stabilizer, she can't continue to exist. Yeah. She will literally deteriorate and fall apart. Yeah. Which she starts doing. Yeah. With the most disgusting things I know to ever exist on this planet, which is teeth falling out of your mouth and then nails being.
Oh, I can't do nails. God damn it, I hate nails.
When the teeth started, I just stopped watching and just listened.
I knew it. I don't like stuff with that either, but I'm not that squeamish when it comes to teeth. Nails are worse. I just looked over at you and you were literally like, and just.
I started gagging.
Like squirming.
I had
in your
to
seat.
turn away.
It's so good. That's when you know the body horror is working.
I looked a little bit to see if it was done. I was like, another tooth, no.
Yeah. But yeah, more and more.
When the nail came, I was like, no.
More and more teeth starts falling out. Yeah, her nails start falling out of her fingers. So she's like, what am I supposed to do? And then, turns out the substance, the thing that creates
wait. We need to mention the little thing in between, which is a scene from the trailer, which pretty girls always smile. Yeah. In the middle of all this chaos, we just run into him, and a bunch of dudes who are literally just looking at Sue as a piece of meat. They don't care that she's hurting. They don't care that anything is going on with her. Just go, pretty girl, smile. Yeah. Luckily, there's a distraction with all the
other pretty girls.
Pretty girls who are, for some reason, topless for the New Year's Eve special.
Yeah, you know, this family-friendly show. Which,
yeah, because there is an actual kid in the audience. We only see the one, but still.
Yeah. But
weird detail.
Yeah, but then so she runs home and she's like, "What am I supposed to do? I know, I'll take the substance because you're supposed to use the whole thing and then throw it away. But I guess there's actually some left. You don't actually have to use all of it. But instead of throwing it away,
no, you fill up the syringe, and if there's some left, there's some left.
Turns out
just throw it out.
Elizabeth saved her, so now Sue injects herself with the substance. So now an other is going to come out of the other.
Sue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
that never works.
that's the when we start making copies of copies. And we know what happens when we do that. Yeah. You know, the pictures get blurry. You know, all the details are removed. Something gets askew, and that's when we get Monstro Alyssa Sue.
I loved the visual how they introduce, because when Elizabeth takes the substance, we get to see a very clear visual of the duplication of her, with the eyeball.
Yeah.
And then when Sue takes it, they're like, well, you fucked up. There's 10 eyeballs.
Yeah. And
within your eyeball.
And the first time Sue wakes up, we see it as a POV shot.
Yeah.
There's a lot of looking into mirrors.
Because the other wakes up at first, obviously, because they come out of the Matrix.
Yeah. But this time, the other wakes up out of the other, and oh, what is going on? And then she catches a glimpse of herself in the mirror and just ducks away because what she sees is monstrous. Because she's
sounded like a child for a second, and both of us, we both said something like, "Oh, she's gonna be like 12 or something."
I thought it was which wouldn't have been as body horror-ish, but it would have been weird if she keeps de-aging. That would have been funny, but not very body horror. No, instead she comes out as she looks like the melting man in first of all in the movie The Incredible Melting Man, but more as one of the henchmen who gets doused in acid in RoboCop.
Right.
In the end of RoboCop, ooh, literally looks like that. And so that's I guess it's Sue in the front, sort of. But there's also a mouth in her chest, and there's some extra eyes on her shoulder, and then you can literally see Elizabeth trying to make her way out of her back.
Is constantly open because she's so stretched through the skin.
Yeah, like she was trying to climb out of the other's back. You know, it went wrong because you're not supposed to do that. And now there's
multiple boobs hanging around.
Yeah, and there's the one boob that kind of is coming out of the mouth. But you only see the upper jaw, and it's kind of sort of biting it, and it's just so weird. And
it's kind of malplaced in the middle of the chest somehow.
Yeah.
A little bit too high.
It is a mess.
So strange.
Because, you played around with the body, which you can't do.
Yeah.
It's going to go wrong.
Yes.
But she's so delusional at that point. She's literally become that ultra narcissist. It's I'm the most prettiest and beautiful.
Yeah.
So she thinks she's still gonna do the New Year's special. So she puts on the dress and
alters it a little bit,
Yeah, to make it fit
with the one boob hanging out.
And then literally gluing the poster face of Elizabeth onto her face because she's still conscious I gotta hide my face. Maybe they won't know. I think it also got to her brain because no sane person would think like that.
There's probably
something's going wrong. Yeah, exactly. And that's why she's talking like this.
Yeah.
That's the movie making fun of that, not me.
Yeah, exactly. I love how they picked Elizabeth's face and not Sue's face, though. Because she's still, originally, she's Elizabeth.
She's Elizabeth. Yeah, Elizabeth is still in there somewhere. Literally coming out of the back, though. Yeah. And once again, there with the super close-ups, we've had the gratuitous ass shots and everything, which is the point of but we also get gratuitous close-ups of this now to really show this is that beautiful body. Remember, huh? No, this is what the body really is. It's gross and disgusting. And there's that shot when they're zooming out of the mirror, where it goes from being a POV shot to being a third-person shot.
Yeah,
and it goes through the hoop lump on her shoulder to reveal the face and the arm growing out of her back. Such a good... The cinematography in this movie is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She has like 3.5 arms.
Yeah, I know. And then she eventually makes it to the studio.
Somehow with time to spare, which I don't really understand, but movie magic.
And of course, people just let her in. Partly her like hallucinating that everyone's clapping, of course, but she does get in, you know.
But the dude opening the door.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like, "We're waiting for you. You have 5 minutes."
Once again, I think that's where it becomes more thematic than actually literal. But yeah, she makes it onto the stage, and of course she's like, "Oh, thank you everyone for being here with me." But then people literally start screaming, "Monster! Kill the monster!
Freak!"
It becomes the end of Frankenstein, basically.
Yes.
And people start panicking. This one guy just saying, "I'm gonna kill this thing," which I don't know. That's
very rash reaction. But
feels a little rash, yeah. But whatever. And as he does that, he literally smashes her head so it explodes. Well, before that, we have to talk about her barfing up a boob.
But she's not barfing because it doesn't come out of her actual mouth. It comes out of a side.
Goes out of like her eye or something.
Yeah, it's like a third eye.
Yeah, and there's
pops
this
out a boob.
There's this detached,
like a balloon,
detached breast, and not like you like cut it off. It's just
no.
It's like a balloon. Yeah, like you said, a balloon.
Yeah, like a balloon.
It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
With like an umbilical cord or something.
Yeah, a tentacle. And she has like her intestines hanging behind her like a tail.
Yeah.
Or whatever that thing is. It looked like intestines.
Partially intestine? Could be another, just didn't finish forming.
Yeah. But yeah, so they smash her head, but then her head grows out again and is even weirder.
Yeah.
And then her arm falls off and starts spewing like tons, not like literal thousands of gallons of blood, covering the entire audience in her blood.
And studio and like everyone in there.
It's like a fire truck hose, like just spraying it. And once again, we had one of those. I was gonna say maybe I'm overanalyzing, but I don't think I am, because now. Because who we have all these the industry has such skewed beauty standards and all that, but you know who perpetuates that terrible beauty standards?
The people watching.
Yeah,
it.
we who
the audience
keep watching that stuff.
Yeah.
So now her blood is on our hands, or all over us, really.
Yeah, that's true.
Her blood is literally on the audience, who's just there to watch the pretty girl.
Yeah.
I thought that
She's a product of them, and then they don't like what they created, so their decision is to kill it, but it backfires, obviously, because you can't really kill it.
Yeah, they made her, which is, they created a situation which the saying is, the blood is on our hands. This person committed suicide, but we pushed them into doing it.
And then
we have their blood on our hands. Now,
her blood is on them.
Literally, her blood is on their hands. I thought that was hilarious. And you see Dennis Quaid in the middle, just everyone starts panicking. He just sits there and goes,
because he's been hyping it up, because all the old dudes that were with him when he says pretty girls always smile, they were shareholders,
the shareholders,
right?
Yeah. So
and
now his career is ruined.
I've created her.
Yeah.
I've molded her myself, and then that comes on. They're like,
yeah.
Why did you make
all he cares about that his career is ruined?
Yeah.
Yeah. But then she runs out of there, in a panic.
Continuing spewing blood out of her arm. Which, that scene when she's running through the hallway where all the posters used to be.
Yeah.
The carpet and the fact that there's like a door at the end kind of made me think of
The Shining.
Yes.
Yes, the pattern.
Especially when there was blood added to it.
Yeah.
The choice of an orange carpet must have been a little bit of an
I think the pattern was even almost the same as in The Shining. Yeah, I'm sure that was a visual reference.
It has to have been.
I also loved, and I almost wonder how they did it. Maybe it was like CGI trickery, But when because there's this, we don't see her walk through the entire. They do the fade cut sort of as she moves through the corridor, because it's a long corridor. But then when she's out of the corridor, the camera lingers on the corridor, and we see blood dripping from the walls. But it drips in perfect, like in tandem across the entire 100 feet long wall, and it's not like, oh, it's more over here than it is in the beginning where it's already finished dripping. It's all dripping the same, and I'm like, how do they spray the entire wall at the same time? Not like the movie is because it's a movie, but how do they do that effect? Did they have 15 hoses all the time? Maybe it's CGI, digital trickery.
Most likely.
They had
because also it's such a waste to just make that much blood in general.
Wow, water and food coloring. Because I gotta say, the color was a little off, and I wonder if that was censoring it sort of, because I know
it was a choice, obviously.
Yeah, to make it not super dark crimson red,
and thick.
It was a little lighter, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I know that was the way they got around getting the X rating on Evil Dead 2, Dead by Dawn, was because when they wanted the walls to literally start spewing blood. The censors you no way, this movie will not be released if you do that. So instead they replaced, there was blood, but then halfway through the scene it starts spewing green color and blue color, and it's it's demon blood, and it's fine, you know, you get the point. But literally to get around censorship, they just changed the color of the blood, and I wonder if that was a little bit though. Yeah, sure, but still, maybe someone said, you cannot cover the entire audience in thick, actual, plasma-looking fake blood.
It also doesn't look as good, though.
Maybe it won't.
Because then you lose a lot of the...
You wouldn't spray as hard, maybe, because it's
exactly.
thicker. Yeah.
That too.
And I'm not saying it's a bad thing, I'm just wondering if that was, in the back of their head.
Probably.
I don't know.
Probably. Wouldn't surprise me.
It's still definitely got the message across.
Oh, yeah. And it looks hilarious to watch her fire hydrant style.
Yeah. Ooh, she's flailing around and the blood is going everywhere.
It's like The Shining and Carrie had a child. I don't know.
Yeah, I laughed so hard at that scene.
I don't know why I've used that reference twice now, but still.
I forgot to mention though, there was a scene where a lot of people started laughing, and I was always like, don't laugh at her. It was super sad when Alyssa Sue, the mutant thing, the Monstro Alyssa Sue, wakes up, and she starts applying makeup. I was just like, oh, she's so it was sad because partly she can't see what, it's almost like she can't see what she's looking like. She's so delusional.
Yeah.
But also in a way that's kind of beautiful in a sad way, because she still thinks she's pretty, which makes her pretty. I'm not saying,
Yeah.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's and see, the music reflected a little bit. I was it was just
more sad than funny.
Yeah, just her putting on the makeup and trying to curl her little tests of hair she had left.
I laughed at that a little bit though, because it looked kind of...
And I laughed too, but inside I was this is super sad.
But I think it's because you didn't have time to realize that it was supposed to be sad.
I know, everyone was laughing.
It threw you into it, and you're like, ha! What is happening?
Yeah.
It was more of a, I don't know what's happening laughter than a, ha 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 ha, you're ugly.
Well, I heard someone oh my God.
Yeah.
And I was oh.
To me, it was I don't know what's going on anymore.
Yeah, and I think that was the point. Just early in the movie when I laughed, because I couldn't process what was going on. I think that was sort of the point. And I think just the sadness hit a little harder.
Yeah,
for
there were
me
definitely people in the theater that didn't really get that part and just went, ha, ugly person trying to look pretty. The curling iron, though, was exceptionally
I laugh now
funny.
because it's done in a comedic way. Like I said, like when she's hobbling around and dragging the poster, super sad, but also hilariously looking.
Yeah, because they're playing it up so much.
Yes, which is the point.
And especially
very, very intelligent.
Wanting to curl that one strand of hair, which is all she has.
Yeah, it's like Homer.
When the babies have the one little.
Yeah. Now I think of Homer. Combing his three
that too.
Things on his head.
Little hairs.
Yeah. Anyway,
it's also because it's something we never see, so it's
it's so bizarre.
Dumb. And we also know those heat tools are there's so many people that literally do that, but with long, healthy hair.
Yeah.
They burn it off because they're not careful enough. It's
yeah.
Like, girl, your hair is a mess. It's not gonna work.
Yeah.
We already know this.
But then, she flees the stage, the studio. Yeah, she's running down the street, and she literally falls over and explodes.
There was a little fire and poof, even.
Yes, that is, and I don't think they're gonna say like, oh, she has literally had like explosives in her. I think that's just because that was a real like figure.
Yeah.
That they exploded, and I mean, you need some sort of
edit that part out.
No, because
it was a bit of a.
You don't have to.
Well,
It was just like part of the effect, so to speak.
Yeah.
But yeah, they literally exploded like a puppet full of blood and goo.
Yeah. There's one thing in that ending though that really bothers me that they could have changed and it would have been more impactful to me, and it's the literal last like 10 seconds of it.
Wait, we have to explain them. We have to get there first. Yeah. So out of this exploded body, the face of Elizabeth crawls out like it's still alive, like
the face that was on her back. Yeah. She's finally free.
It's like, and she's crawling down the street. And we didn't talk. The movie starts with them putting on the star on the street in
the Hollywood
Boulevard,
whatever. Yeah.
And we see that over the years, people are like, oh, they're taking photographs, but then as time moves on, people
fewer and fewer care about it. And forget about it. Kind of thing.
There's cracks in the star.
Her star is literally fading.
Fading, yeah, exactly. And then now, her what little scraps are left of her are now crawling along the street, ends up on that star, and she looks up into the sky and she sees the sparkles because she's Elizabeth Sparkle. And then she literally like melts.
Yes.
And then she is literally washed up because she is. Guess what? She's washed up at this point. A guy with a big, street sweeper just comes and cleans the street, just removes all the guck and
asphalt Zamboni. I don't know what they're called.
Yeah, a street sweeper machine, a cleaning. Street sweeper. And there's nothing left.
She's gone.
There's just the memory, the cracked memory of her in the street.
Yeah.
I thought it was also once again funny that she literally gets washed up in the end.
Yes. That part was the good part.
Okay, what was the 10 seconds you wanted to change?
When she explodes and falls over.
Yeah.
Instead of having Elizabeth's face having to crawl, because it feels a long bit, even if it's not really that long, but it feels longer than it should feel. She should have I don't know, flown out of the explosion and kind of landed on the star.
Like...
Yeah. Kind of been on the star, not having to get to the star.
I don't know.
Because I don't know what that last little struggle was supposed to represent. It just didn't work for me. I just went, she should have just like ended up on the star, not made her way there.
Okay, I don't know. I honestly didn't.
Because then it would have been more like, you crashed and burned and then you ended. You didn't even have like a last fight because there was no last fight. Really.
Well, she had her last her last struggle was her crawling along the street.
Yeah, but it felt unnecessary.
Yeah, because
the rest
because the rest of the movie was so restrained.
No, that's true. I don't know. I just went, come on.
Oh yeah, I didn't think like that. For me, that wasn't a problem at all. I thought it was amazing that, oh my god, she exploded, and then her fucking face is crawling out of it, going.
She's like slime. It's slime with a face on it.
Yeah,
it's so strange.
I loved it.
Yeah, no, me too, but it was weird.
No, yeah, and that's the story of The Substance.
Very, very strange movie.
But good.
Which is hard to talk about without spoiling, obviously.
We did it.
The more we talked about it, the more I'm understanding it and I'm accepting it, obviously. Yeah. But right then and there, I was like, what the hell is this, dude? Up until the last, I don't know if that was last third even. No, it was last 20 minutes, basically. Because I did check the time a few times.
It is the third act, but the third act is shorter. Usually in a movie,
very short.
The second act is the longest one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's something, though. I gotta say though, the movie never felt like, oh, it's too long. I
had that.
I didn't feel that. I was worried in the beginning because I'd worked all day. I was kind of tired, and I was like, I'm gonna sit down and watch this movie that I might not even like because I thought it was gonna be too, it's gonna be fucking woke.
Yeah, which wasn't really.
No, it wasn't. It was woke in the right way. It was progressive in the right way. It was
by using things that are anti-progressive.
Exactly. It was interesting, and it was thought-provoking, and it wasn't just pandering. That's what I don't like about fucking like Star Wars nowadays, or all the Force is female. That's pandering bullshit. Make something with some substance instead. That's not even
brave of a woman
intended.
to no exactly. It was brave of a woman to do the things that usually is what male directors would use, the whole zooming in on a woman's body and appreciating exactly. every single curve of it.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of taking it back,
Yeah, sort of. Still a bit much, in my opinion. I did not, as much as I enjoy looking at beautiful women, I don't really want to watch her ass shake in my face for that long.
I'd say, like I said, on a surface level, on a purely like carnal level, I had no problems whatsoever with those scenes. Which is
partially probably why she did it.
Yes, of course.
She wanted to play on the guys are gonna like this.
Yeah, and make you go like, oh, you like this, huh? Well, how about I just show you when the fucking chicken thing comes out of her? Like, fuck you. Yeah, that's the point.
And maybe it also was a bit to make women go, really?
Of course, yeah.
Is this how you see us?
It's not thought provoking. Another thing, it's she's challenging you.
Yes.
Yeah. This is what we talk about when we talk about movies, or I talked about on Twitter. We talked about it here as well. Like, what movies are? They're supposed to be entertaining, of course, and they can be just fun. But a movie is so much better when it challenges you, when it forces you to like think about what you're actually watching. And I'm like,
when it starts a discussion, when it makes you consider certain things, when it makes you question maybe yourself even.
Exactly. And you're like, oh yeah, Margaret Qualley, shake that ass. And he's like, what am I actually watching here?
Like, why do I like this? Are you sure I should enjoy it this time?
I know what you mean. I know why I liked it, but I also know I also know that they're doing it manipulatively.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I'm buying into it because I'm such a base fucking human. Because I'm a human. The worst disease of all. Humanity.
The biggest parasite ever.
Yeah.
The only thing that could have made it like more on the nose and in your face would have been if like they turned a mirror to the audience and you actually saw yourself somehow.
My God. That would have been that would have been Jesus Christ. That would have been like
they showed you all the flashing and the booty and all that stuff, and then they go, ha! And then, look at yourself.
Yeah, they just stop and all just start staring into the cameras. But what are you looking at?
Yeah.
Makes me think of How I Met Your Mother, when Lily she has aspirations to become an actress, and she does that play in the abandoned building.
Yeah.
And she it's an interactive play, so she runs up to I think it's Barney. And she holds up a mirror to him and says, "This is the face of consumerism." Yeah. Like, it's that kind of on the nose. Which they stayed away from, and I think that's a good thing. Yeah.
But it was like
that was almost what they were doing. Yeah, it was basically what they were doing, but a little more clever. Yeah.
Not the actual mirror, but yeah.
Almost,
Almost.
Yeah, but I think we're gonna wrap it up there.
Yes, we've been blabbering on for quite a while.
Yeah. But we had a lot to say because once again, this is cinema. This is what movies are all about.
I still feel it's a little bit pretentious in a bad way, but just a little bit.
Sure. We have to remember it is French.
Yes, sure. The French are known for being pretentious, I guess.
Yeah. But I would, like I said in the non-spoiler part, I would wholeheartedly recommend this to anyone who enjoys movies more than just entertainment. Because as pure entertainment, no.
Because you need to
be more aware of what you're watching.
Yeah, and you need to be aware of the fact that you are watching something. You need to
because I think
just watch it.
If you're just watching it watching it as a Transformers movie, no, it won't. It's too long.
Not going to work at all. It's going to be so strange. It's going to be weird. It's going to be
it's going to be
weird.
It's going to be
honestly.
All like you were, but all the time. Yeah. But if you consider yourself a cinephile, a lover of the arts,
yes,
check this out.
If you want,
and even if you don't,
something to challenge yourself,
because this is not before we started this podcast, you would never watch a movie like this.
Me, no, God, no,
exactly. But you see, as if you even let's say you're one of those hated film bros who everyone's like, oh, we're not gonna go into that, but you know what I mean. And you just want to maybe broaden your horizons, actually want to try. This is because I think this is actually one of those movies. If you disregard the grossness, this is one of those movies where you could, it's an easy movie to analyze.
Yes.
So it's a good way to get into film analysis, I would say.
Yeah.
If you cut out the third act, where it just overloads you with grossness instead. That might be too hard.
In general, it's a challenging movie that challenges you as a person, not just,
It doesn't challenge your attention span, so to speak.
Yes.
It challenges you to think about what you're watching. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's it.
So give it a shot.
Give it a shot. And watch it on the biggest screen possible. If it's still showing in theaters where you are, you want to watch it on a big screen. Yeah. Because that's
I think that helps.
All the close-ups, all the grossness, it works. Yeah. The bigger, the better. Because that's the whole point.
I almost had a nightmare about Dennis Quaid's face.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because that was probably the grossest scene in the entire movie, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. But yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. We are gonna do a companion piece. Well, we always do a companion piece, but we're going to do the Congress on Patreon this week.
Right.
Well, next week, technically. Which is a movie about the same thing, the fading beauty of Hollywood, but in a more sci-fi way than body horror.
Yes.
It's a very, very interesting movie. It's a very interesting look at a similar subject in a different way, a different look at a similar subject. So if you want to hear us talk about the Congress, check us out on patreon.com/don'tmakeascene this Monday. Whatever you're listening to this, whatever. Support us. It's $3 a month, and you get literally hundreds of hours of exclusive material and exclusive episodes. But yeah, other than that, we'll be back next week with Megalopolis?
Yeah.
Whatever it's called.
Whatever, yeah,
Francis,
that one,
Francis Ford Coppola's $100 million vanity project.
Yeah.
And after that, it's October.
Spooky times.
But yeah, until then, have a good one.
Bye.
The spoilerCast is part of Please Don't Make a Scene. It is produced and directed by Tobias Vedén and hosted by Tobias and Rebecca Vedén. Executive producer is Annika Vedén. I also want to give a huge shout out to all our patrons over on patreon.com/don'tmakeascene. Mom, Dad, Christopher Belén, Daniel Del Gaiso, Mac and Mom, Laura Kinney, and CK85.